Hey,
How are you?
I'm amazing. How you doing?
Good. How old are you?
24.
What do you got for me?
I jumped in kind of late on the convo, but
If a woman can't find if a woman can't find a husband, are you prepared to buy a man or hire a guy to be your man?
if I get old, like not old, not that 45 is old, but
Subscribe now.
if I get that old and I still don't have a guy, what do you mean by rent one?
You want to go out to a concert? Who's gonna take you?
Just like to date or to like be with?
Either or. Rent-A-Gent is a trusted marketplace for handsome, smart, talented men. Available for rent for hours, available for rent by the hour for dates, parties, and then they even got them for rent for like household services, things like that. Yeah, it's like anything else. Men have always understood this to be an escort. There's an event you got coming up. You don't want to roll solo dolo because you're
Does he
old
have
and huh?
well,
Huh?
does he have a woman?
What the fucking difference does it make?
So this is not a single man. This is just any man.
Why does that matter? See, when guys go to strip clubs or escorts, we don't get to ask those questions.
Mm.
See, right there already implies that you got leverage. You ain't got no man.
If you that old, yeah.
Not that old, just period. You don't have a man. Whatever it is, you ain't got one.
Mm. If I was older, yeah. If I was older, it would be
How much older does older? What does that mean?
well, I mean, I want to be married in my 20s, hopefully, willing. So, I mean, older for me, like where I'm like, okay, marriage is not an option probably at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have any kids. I'll probably have to be like 37 plus.
Okay, which I said in no man's land.
Yeah.
So in no man's land. All right. Why is that such a troubling concept, though?
Well, I come from a two-parent household. I don't plan on getting to that point. My parents been married since they were 18.
Right.
But yeah, my parents been married since they were 18. They're still fairly young now. They're 43 and
Right.
So
well, then move that way in your life because understand that service exists and it's only about to grow because men are not marrying because women aren't giving men the incentive they want.
Right.
Are you seeing anybody right now?
I'm not.
Okay. When was your last relationship?
About a year ago.
And how long did it last?
That was about 6 months.
6 months, a year ago? That's not a lot.
Yeah.
You want any kids?
I do.
How many?
I want 2 for sure. 3 would probably be my max. No, not my max, my personal. Like if my husband wanted more kids than 3 and I would have more than 3.
So you don't always ask, do you want to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant?
For me, like I would say no, like okay, I don't want to work. Okay, let me answer on this end. For me, I would say like, okay, I have 2 sisters, so it's.
Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant with your first kid?
Do I want to have to? No.
All right. What percentage of the family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for a lifetime?
In a perfect world, none.
All right.
That's a priority for it to be a priority.
All right. So, and you're in Florida?
No, I'm in Atlanta.
Atlanta. How much money is a man going to need to make to provide for a middle class lifestyle for a stay-at-home wife and 3 kids in the middle class?
In Georgia, I mean, upwards of 700,000.
That's a lot. That's not that much, but all right. That's in the top 1% of men.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever dated a man making $700,000? Hello?
Oh.
I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Have you ever dated a man making $500,000 a year?
No.
Have you ever dated a man making over $100,000?
Yes.
What percentage of men make over $100,000 in this country?
I watch your show. I can't remember this number, but I know it's less than 10%.
Less than how many?
Less than 10, right?
Yeah. Does your father make almost $1 million a year?
No, my dad makes almost six figures a year.
Almost six figures.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta ask the question, man. Your
Mm-hmm.
mother and father have been married for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and your father is doing better than most, but he's not making anywhere close to the exorbitant amount of money you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need that?
No, I thought you were asking the
Yeah,
question.
but you, I mean, I know how much money he would need to make, but what I'm saying, I accept that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's close to 300,000, 400,000, but that's still a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Because the next questions come is, how tall are you?
Mm-hmm.
How tall are you?
So
How
I'm
tall are you? 5'3"?
excuse me, 5'4",
5'4"? Dress size.
8,
How much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
170-ish.
You're not a dress size. 8?
Yeah.
Okay. Image consultant in real life. If you're 5'4", 170 something, I can look in your face and tell you're closer to a 10, 12.
No.
Okay.
Hold on. Please. So this is my thing with that philosophy as far as the money, right? So a man who makes 300,000 a year, obviously there's nothing wrong with that. There's not anything wrong with a man who makes 40,000 a year or 50,000 a year. But
Mm-hmm.
for me,
What are you doing?
if you have
What are you doing?
logging into, I have a call at 11. But for me, a man who makes that much money, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you have, like, for me, I'm the type of woman, I want to retire my parents. I have, certain goals that I want to reach. And if
How much? What do you do? Did you go to college?
I stopped going to college about a year
All
ago.
right. So how you gonna retire your? How you gonna retire your? No, listen. No, no, no.
I trade currency.
Okay, you trade currency. That's fine. Where do you live?
I live in Buckhead.
Okay. You live. You don't live. You live by your. You're how old again? 24.
24. I live with my sister. Me and my
All
sister
right.
live together. We live
So
in
you
Buckhead.
trade currency. How long you been doing that?
3 years.
All right. Then, are you doing financially well?
I am.
So you want to retire your family. What about why would your husband want to retire his in-laws?
That's what I was about to say. So for me, if a man doesn't make that much money, or even if he does make that much money, my issue with that is I wouldn't necessarily feel like it needs to be my life goal to put my entire financial stake on a man because he makes 100,000 a year. If I want to retire my parents, if I have certain goals that I feel like I feel like my parents deserve to be retired early. I feel like they deserve to
Stop.
lifestyle. Okay, go ahead.
You ain't talking like nobody's wife. You're talking like a goddamn dude.
I mean, some would say.
Yeah, and the kind of man that make that kind of money you're talking about ain't gonna deal with a man like you. Come here talking about what you want. What the man's make that kind of money? He looking for a wife to raise his own legacy. Not worried about your family and what you want to do for your mom and daddy. That's their life. He got parents. He retired his parents before he.
That's what I'm saying.
But your responsibility is supposed to be thinking about your man and what you do for your legacy, not what you do to pay your parents back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That would be my life choice. So
As a single woman, yes.
a man who makes 100,000, 300,000 a year, that's good money. But for my specific life goals at 24, with plenty of options and
plenty of options for what? Plenty of options for what?
For dating, and as far as
Really?
the time in my life situation.
So let me ask you a question. What would you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? Just your face. You cannot use 7. Fresh face out of the shower.
Fresh face out of the shower, I would say a 6.
Okay.
And when I'm dressed, hair, all that, I would say a 7, 8.
So you give yourself an adjustable 6.
Sure, yes.
So you put yourself on the same level as Sweetie.
Well, that's what you rank her as.
I will give you a 5 at best. I will give you average, and then your weight and your weight is below average.
Okay,
that means, man, the way you're talking is like you say you got a lot of options, but not for the kind and caliber man you're talking about. Not that kind of money. You may have a lot of options for dudes making, you know, average money, but not for no man talking about $300,000-$400,000 a year. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not here in Atlanta.
Well, like I said, for my life goals, a man who makes 100,000, 300,000 a year, that's cool. That's good money, but that's not enough money for me to say I'm stopping what I'm doing and only your cares matter. What I want to do for my family, what my goals are.
This is a single woman. This is a dead woman walking. Dead woman walking.
I mean, this is my thing. And like I said, I have a call, so I'm gonna go. That I love a lot of what you say, but that's for a woman who doesn't have any desire to do anything but be a wife.
I mean, but the thing is, you're gonna have to do all that because your attitude, your masculine energy is gonna make sure you got to take care of yourself, because the man who has more money or what you're talking about won't even deal with you. Just back and forth. This is gone to your call, but thank you for the back and forth. But do y'all hear this? I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. And this is, let me back up. Appreciate the conversation, but see, this is the issue. What does a man have to do to make $300,000-$400,000 a year, 500, 700,000? And women just talk about it like it's just no big deal. Like, hey man, good. That money's good. Good. Are you out of your French toast mind? She talks about it like, you know, it's just, you know, yeah, you know, like you got extra cheese on the pizza, other than a man had to become something to get that. You realize why men are saying they're done with women, modern women like that? Because I said a woman tells men what they think they deserve by your attitude and your appearance. And if you're 5'4", 180 pounds, you're already telling the man you don't deserve. I'm a 6 and an 8. What? No. But that's the only way to justify. And far too many women think because they have talked good and got ambitious goals that their socioeconomic status improves their sexual marketplace value. You ladies might not like the way I say things, but you need to ask yourself, would you want your brother, who's a doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, had to go make himself the top 10%, 5%, 3%, 1% of men to bring home a woman like that talking about she wants to retire her parents? That's her plan. That's why I say put your dick up. Nowhere did you hear this woman talk about, here's what my parents have been married since you're young. Where's the wife? That was the man. So ladies, you may get upset with the way I say things, but understand most women talk about men in relationships like this. So, you know, and there was no need to get, you know, pejorative or insulting. She wasn't not insulting, but I'm just saying she drastically overestimated her sexual marketplace value. But the reason that makes sense is because the world has told her